Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another empowering episode of Pep Talks with Megan De La Concha. That is me, your host for the day. And again, thank you guys so much for joining and tuning in to another week. Or if this is your first time, welcome. And I have just been so grateful with the feedback that this podcast has been receiving. It really lets me know that you guys are hearing the message that I am trying to give. And it just makes my heart so warm because, again, it just affirms that this is where I'm supposed to be. And I am glad to be able to reach all of you on so many different platforms, not just the podcast arena and YouTube, but also on social media. So if you're not following me yet, go ahead. Down below will be my Instagram handle and my Facebook. We will be starting a private community shortly as my program begins to launch or start the process of launching. So you're going to want to get in now so that you are up to date with everything that is going on, because so many amazing, wonderful things are happening that I can't necessarily, I don't want to say can't, but I don't necessarily want to share with you just yet, because there is a strategy to all of this, but you are not going to want to miss this, and I can guarantee that. So if you are new here, let me just reintroduce myself to you. My name is Megan De La Concha, and the purpose of me starting this podcast, Pep Talks, is, PEP, PEP stands for personal empowerment. And if you have not yet listened to episode 1, or I believe it's episode 10, which really goes into a deep dive of my own personal story and why I am here. Because I have been through it. I have been through hell. I have been at the bottom of the barrel, insecure, not confident, completely doubtful, going from not knowing who I was, battered and bruised, found myself in toxic relationships, to me being here right now. And Pep Talks with Megan De La Concha is designed to have these real conversations that we don't necessarily feel safe having, even sometimes with our friends. These aren't necessarily things that we really want to admit or care to admit, as far as feeling insecure or feeling doubtful or feeling guilty, or just feeling like we don't even really fit in sometimes, or if we're on a journey of healing. So this podcast is created to create a safe space, not only for myself to share my own vulnerabilities and my own struggles and my own real life doubts and negative thinking and dealing with anxiety and depression, but to also create a safe space for you to just listen and to know that somebody is there behind you, that you are not alone. So I hope that this podcast blesses you every week. And again, if you feel that you just want to have a chat with me, hit me up at any social media platform. You can email me, you can DM me, you can go on my my website, megandelaconcha.com, and there is a space for you to book a complimentary call with me, to where we can just have a chat, a conversation about where you are and maybe what you struggle with, what you're looking for, and I can certainly help you, as I do offer one-on-one coaching, and eventually in the next few months I will be offering a group program with group coaching. So super excited about that. But that is why I am here. So welcome. Make sure that you take the time to subscribe. And thank you, everybody, for your reviews and your feedback. So now that that is over, let's get right into this. This is episode 13. And last week we talked about habits, and do your habits support the life that you have right now, or do they support the life that you want to have? So I urge you, if you're listening to this, awesome, amazing, keep listening, but mark it on either the YouTube playlist or on your podcast platform, wherever you're listening, to go back and listen to last week's episode, episode 12, because that you're really going to want to get a good grip on habits and what type of habits you should be creating in order to move towards the life that you want to have, and really kind of get you to look at the habits that you may already be practicing that's actually holding you back. So in that episode, we talked about morning routines and how that is a habit that can help propel us to the life that we want to have. That is a supporting habit. So why morning routines? Something I never had a set morning routine until probably the last 6 months, probably maybe even more so the last 4 months. I usually would just get up when I needed to get up, like right when I needed to get up, throw some makeup on, throw some clothes on, make a cup of coffee, and head out the door, right? And all those mornings, we all have them where you get up and you trip, and it just seems like you're tripping for the rest of the day. It is like one thing after another just keeps happening. And at the end of the day, you're moody, you're cranky, nothing went right. All you want to do is have a few glasses of whiskey on ice, no mixer, or a entire bottle of wine, and just hit the restart button and start over again the next day. So then what do we do the next day? We don't do anything different. We get up 10 minutes past the alarm clock that's been buzzing and we've been snoozing for the last 15 minutes, quickly brush our teeth, put some dry shampoo in our hair, throw it up in a ponytail, out the door we again. It's the same routine. That is a routine. Whether you think so or not, it is not a supporting routine, but it is a routine. So morning routines, supportive, intentional, purposeful morning routines can really help you win the day. We all know that making the bed is a great start to help you win the day. Why? Because it's a small win. You get up, you make the bed. There's no clutter on your bed. There's uniformity to your bed. It's organized, it's clean. It's, you look at it and we all do this. You look at it and you go, that looks really nice, right? It looks really clean. It is the first thing that you see when you wake up. So your brain recognizes that as organized. It's a small win. So now you've accomplished something. So guess what's rising? Your confidence. And that just rolls into what your next task is going to be. Now, your morning routine is not like, I'm going to get up, empty the dishwasher, throw a load of laundry in, blah, blah, blah. That is all fine. But the morning routines that I'm talking about, the routines, the habits that you want to have that empower your life and that propel you forward, is going to be focused on things that only you can get done in this this time frame, because the day starts. You're going to work, you're at work all day, you go to the grocery store, you come home, you cook dinner, you shower, you get ready for the next day, you want to watch something on TV, you go to bed, right? So before the day takes over, or you're driving your kids to school and you got to go to the grocery store and you got to run this errand and whatever the case may be, the innocence of the morning is where we can really root ourselves down. We can anchor ourselves down into the innocence of the morning before the day starts to make its mark, right? So a morning routine is like, think about it like it's an anchor for you. Now, the day can still go haywire. Your morning routine doesn't necessarily dictate what your coworkers are going to do. Maybe that business plan you had might be falling through. Maybe just everyone and their mom starts calling that day, or your boss throws a project at you that you just did not even see coming, and you need it done or he needs it done like yesterday. So the morning routine doesn't necessarily dictate all of those outside actions, but it definitely dictates the resilience that you're going to have to those changes. You are not going to be so reactive to those changes. You're simply just going to respond. Why? Because you have anchored yourself in your morning by doing the things that empower your life, not just your day, but your life. A morning routine builds the two things that you need for transformation, and that's confidence and resilience. So, what types of things what does a morning routine look like? Well, here's the big thing that I want you all to understand. There are so many books out there. There are so many people out there that are offering morning routines, that have suggestions for morning routines, and those are all absolutely amazing, and they're a great starting point. But I really want you to get into your head that this is something that you create based on what works for you, the time that you have, and your lifestyle. I realize not everybody gets up and works a 9 to 5. A lot of people have a night shift. A lot of people work two jobs. I understand that. So, this is not like you have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day and do this. This is going to be molded to what fits your life and what feels good to you. Okay. What works for you. So the example I'm going to give is going to be because of my life. It's going to be an example of what I do according to my lifestyle, my work schedule, my family. So this is not, the holy grail, right? But I want you to, whatever your schedule looks like, this does not have to be a morning routine, an evening routine. It can be an afternoon routine. I want you to pick a time of day because we have to start somewhere. We have to start our day somewhere, even if our day starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the morning. I want you to use the time before your day starts. And I want you to gear a routine or create a routine in that space. And if you're watching me on YouTube, or I'm sorry, if you're seeing me, if you're listening to me, I'm literally creating a ball, like an imaginary ball with my hands, because wherever the day starts for you, I want you to insert a routine right there, no matter what time of day it is or what type of the of the evening, because either way, this is going to empower your life. So, what does a morning routine look like? Well, I tell you what. For me, it started with the book by Hal Elrod called The Miracle Morning. And what Hal has done is he researched and researched and researched, also by telling his own story. And he's taken the best practices that have been developed over many, many centuries, and he's combined them into a morning routine called the Savers routine. If you have not read this book, it's called The Miracle Morning. You can get it on Audible, which is what I did. And you can buy it off of Amazon or his website, I believe, which is miraclemorning.com. But you will get a huge understanding as to how much a morning routine affects not just your day, but your life, and the magnitude in which it affects your day. So for me, that's really where establishing a morning routine developed. Now, I do not follow his routine. Full transparency, I tried, it didn't work. There are there's 5 things to his routine. And I'm going to get into this a little bit later when we talk about the 3 steps to a fail-proof morning routine. But I failed. I could not do the 5 steps every single day. We're going to get into that later. It is an amazing routine. If it works for you, I highly suggest you do that. But what I did was I also kind of followed in the same footsteps, and I researched and I developed my own morning routine where I took from examples of his routine, of other coaches' routines whom I either know personally or have had the pleasure to meet professionally. I've taken their examples, and I just really molded my routine. Now, this is over the course of 6 months. Okay. So, again, we're going to go over the 3 steps to a fail proof morning routine. And I will tell you in that section of this episode as to how you're going to build a fail proof routine for you. Is it fail proof or is it fail safe? Or does it even matter? I don't think it matters. It's the same thing. Either way, you're not going to fail. So, my morning routine. This is actually something that I teach in my 6-week empowerment transformation course that is going to be launched very soon. I'm super excited, but the morning routine that I practice is based off of the A.C.T.S routine. A.C.T.S. So very quickly, it's very simple. I'm a very simple person. I cannot have a lot of things going on in the morning. I can't really have a lot of things going on at one time. I am very receptive and I'm very sensitive to energy. So when there's a ton of stuff that's going on, it drains me. Now, I am setting, and practicing boundaries for that, but this is another reason why a morning routine that is designed for you is so critical, because it builds resilience when all of these things happen. Because let's face it, when you grow, so many things are going to be happening, and things that are out of your control and things that are in your control, and people are going to be relying on you. They're going to be demanding things from you, especially that now that I'm growing my own business, it's getting busier and busier by the day. So I have to do these things to support me, to make sure that before the day actually starts, as far as other people coming in, the sun rising and people needing things, my kids are awake, my husband is awake, vendors, my coaches, my clients, I have to set time for myself so that I can come out and be confident and resilient. I have to anchor myself first. So how I do that is with my A.C.T.S morning routine. A is for awaken. I immediately awaken with the Lord. For me, yes, I am a woman of faith. I am not secretive or shy about that at all. When I wake up, I immediately fall into a state of prayer. And if you have not gotten your How to Pray guide, you can go to my website and download the freebie. You can click the link in my bio on Instagram and it'll lead you directly to my freebie. And this is the prayer guide that I use every single day to connect with God, and it grows my relationship with Him every day. If there is one thing that I do every single morning, it is this prayer to Him. It is to connect with Him. If I did not get up on time and I'm running late, it does not matter. This is the one thing that anchors me during the day. So I awaken with Him, and that looks like my devotional to Him, my prayer time with Him, and my meditation with Him. C is for create, and that's create your own care. Now, this is where you get to stay curious and you get to discover what it is that feels good for you. So it could be anything like a 10 to 20 minute yoga, a walk, maybe a hot shower. Maybe if you feel you're too cozy to get a little bit of blood pumping right now, that's fine. Stay in bed, get a cup of coffee or a hot tea, and start journaling. Listen to music, do something that is soothing, but something that only you get to do, something that you get to do when there's nobody else around. There's no job, there's no boss, there's no husband or wife, there's no kids, right? There's no clients, there's no employees, something that only you get to do during this time frame. Now, T is to teach. Teach yourself something new every single day. This creates wisdom, it creates knowledge, it creates a little win for you, it creates confidence, and it creates resilience, which all leads to transformation. So for me, this could be maybe I flagged an article that I saw come through my email, or like maybe just browsing the web, or on Facebook or on Instagram. You know how you click the save button. So even though I don't necessarily want to encourage social media, because we know how fast you can go down that dark, deep hole, if you make it a point to like just seriously, if it is on your social media, that you click directly to that saved and you open up the article and start reading, totally fine. A lot of times for me, it's an email that I saved. Again, an email and opening your emails can be a very dark hole. This is why you have to do your habits and set your habits with intention and purpose so that you're not just nilly-willy, I'm going to open up. It's like, no, I know where this is at. I actually have a folder that I specifically share or save these articles to. So as soon as my email opens, I like one eye it and I'm like clicking the box, I'm clicking the folder so that I don't see anything else. This can also be listening to a podcast that is educational. One podcast that I recommend is Quick Brain, Kwik, Brain with Jim Quick. He has really like 15-minute short little podcasts that are like explosive with amazing wisdom and understanding about possibly anything that has to do with the brain and you and emotions and empowerment. For me, I absolutely love it. It's little nuggets that I can take with me all the time. He doesn't ramble. It's very quick and to the point. You don't feel like you have to take notes to remember something. And it's really just an awesome, like, it's just an awesome rock in your day, right? It's like picking up a rock and putting it in your pocket. And when you feel anxious and you kind of like rub that rock in your pocket, I don't know if anyone's ever done that, but it's really just a nugget of wisdom that you remember and you can actually relate to and apply during your day. So also taking the time, that teaching is also reading a book. Like I said, a blog, an article, an email, something that you are either currently working on or just something intriguing, whether it's 10 minutes, a 5 minute, but just teach yourself something new. And then for S, state your day. This is probably, besides awakening with the Lord, this is my favorite part of the day because this is where I get to set the 3 goals for my day, whether it's personal, professional, or a mix. And I get to do my affirmations. I get to visualize, and most importantly, I get to claim the day. I wake up and I will say out loud a lot of times when making my bed, because I will wait to make my bed after all these are done, because for me, these all kind of roll into one. And a lot of times I'm either in bed or I'm on the couch. So, it's not a lot of movement, but so I tend to wait to make my bed till after my Axe routine is done and before I go into getting dressed, doing my makeup, getting another cup of tea, whatever that may be. But claiming the day, I get to say today is already freaking great. It's freaking amazing. I am a boss. I can handle whatever it throws at me, and whatever emotions arise, I am going to create this space for them to exist, and I'm going to handle it because I have control over that. I have control over the choices I get to make. And I expect amazing divine opportunities into my life every single day and into my business. Today, I am focused, I am energized, and I am clear on what needs to get done. Boom, done. I mean, that was less than a minute. So that is my morning routine. I know I'm going through a little bit fast. I will post more on this on social media so you can actually read it. But that is the Axe morning routine for me. It is simple. It is effective, and I kill my day. So Axe, awaken. C, create your care. T, teach yourself something new. And S, state your day. Now, moving on to the 3 steps on how to create a fail-proof morning routine. Fail-safe. I don't know if I'm using the right word, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Morning routine for you. 3 things you need to remember. 1, remain curious and in a state of discovery, aka find what feels good to you. It does not have to look a certain way. It does not have to be a certain way. You do not have to have a certain number of things. Your morning routine could be 1 thing. That is fine. It could be 10 things. That is fine. But find what feels good to you. Either create one all your own, maybe take a little bits and pieces of other morning routines, or follow one that you absolutely love. You might really like the morning or the miracle morning routine. It's a great routine. And if you have the time and the energy and it fits your lifestyle to do that, then do it. But remain curious, because this is a habit that you are creating. So a habit takes time. It takes practice, but what you practice progresses. So this is not something where you're just going to get up on Monday morning at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, whatever it is, and you're going to do this and you're every single day for the rest of your life. No, it does not happen like that. So remain curious as you're building your routine. It's okay. It does not have to be cookie cutter. Find what feels good to you, because if you don't, you are not going to be motivated to do it every single day. And your morning routine should be something that empowers you and makes you feel confident to build transformation and to build resilience. If it doesn't feel good, it's only going to mess with your head. So remain curious and in a state of discovery. Find what feels good. Number 2, take your time and build it up. Remember when I said I tried the Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod? I tried his morning routine. I was trying to do too much at once, and it wasn't sustainable for me. I didn't have the time. I didn't have the energy. And you know what ended up happening? I know who I am, and I know what my personality is like. And it ended up being more of a checklist. I was more focused on checking the things off than actually on the things that I was doing. So it wasn't having any effect on me, and it was creating more stress because I was just focused on, oh, this is checked, this is checked, this is checked. But when I went back to think about what I did this morning, I couldn't even tell you what I did. I couldn't tell you what I read. I couldn't tell you the affirmations I had. I couldn't tell you what my silent time was about, because I was so focused on just checking off a list rather than what was doing on the list. The number of things you have on the list is not going to empower you. It's the intentional, purposeful things that you have on your list, on your routine. That is what empowers you. That's why I say, if it's one thing for you, let it be one thing and build it up. For me, the one thing in my morning routine was to take my time with the Lord. I did not want to set 10 minutes with God. I wanted to be there with Him, whether it was for an hour, whether it was for 2 hours. I wanted to make sure that I had my time with Him. That's why I made it the first thing on my morning routine. Awaken with Him. And if that's all that I did, that was more than enough. But I know as I get into the groove of things, I'm eventually going to add on other things, which is how I added on the C, how I added on the T, and how I added on the S. And a lot of times when I teach myself something new, I just sit back in bed with the Bible and I open the Bible. But start off with one thing and build it up. A habit is a habit that you create and you practice every single day. So I do yoga every single day. The best time for my body to be active is at 10 o'clock in the morning. Do I want to move it to a morning routine? Absolutely. And I eventually will. But I have to form the habit first and feel good about it first. And then I will move it to a 6 o'clock time frame, to a 6:30 time frame. So take your time and build it up. And number 3, remain patient and show grace. You're going to get sick. Your kids are going to get sick. You're going to have late nights. You're going to have parties. You're going to have family get-togethers. You're going to have cookouts. Your morning routine isn't going to be something that you get up and practice every single day. If it is, absolutely amazing, and I admire you. But do not get down on yourself. Give yourself days to sleep in. You should do that. I do that. And if I wake up at 8 in the morning and I say my prayer in the shower, so be it. If I wait till nap time and do my meditation then, so be it. That's totally fine. You need to give yourself time to rest. You need to give yourself that time that you give to yourself actually creates like energy for you to get back up and get into the scheme of things, get into the routine. It's going to take time. So have mercy on yourself, remain graceful, and remain patient with yourself. It takes time to build, and that's okay. You're going to figure it all out. It's all about moving around and discovering, building confidence, building resilience, and what? Transformation. So we went over the ACTS morning routine, and we went over the 3 steps to a fail-proof/safe morning routine. I hope that this episode empowers you. I will be posting about it all week. If you have questions or you want more clarity, please comment down below. If you're watching on YouTube, I see your comments. I do respond. You can hit me up. You can DM me on social media. You can also head over to my website, megandelaconcha.com, and send me an email if you want more clarity on how to build a morning routine. I'm also available. You can call me about that too. If you're struggling with finding a morning routine that works for you, give me a call. We'll go over what you're struggling with. We'll go over what you are aspiring to have, and we will go ahead and we'll make that happen for you. Have a wonderful and blessed week. I will catch you here next Monday. Ta-ta!